Well, hello and welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to talk about Wet n Wild, and more precisely, I'm gonna rank the 8 products I have here in front of me. So Wet n Wild is a very affordable brand. I know that there are some products of theirs that are a cult favorite. I remember particularly their Photo Focus foundation, which everyone raved about, especially considering it was only like $7. I tried that one a while ago. I actually bought 3 different shades thinking, oh, everybody loves this, I'm gonna love it as well. And I actually didn't like it at all. It didn't look pretty on my face. It just didn't sit nicely on my skin. It just was not for me. Now, I don't have the full range, of course. I don't even have enough to do a full face of Wet n Wild products. Yesterday, I did a video in French where I retried and tested a bunch of the products that I had just to make sure I knew how I felt about these. And so today I decided to share my final thoughts with you and to do it ranking style. So we will start at number 8. So the lowest position, the flop for me, is again a foundation, again from the Photo Focus range. This time this is the stick foundation. I have it on my face today. I wanted to make sure I gave it one more go and worked differently with it. I tried to apply it on with a brush. I then tried to use a beauty blender to like blend it out further and make sure that it had a nicer finish. I tried yesterday not powdering it at all. My god, it looked terrible. It looked greasy, really. And today I did set it with powder. I used the Hourglass Veil Translucent Powder, which is amazing, and it's not cakey, it's not too dry either, but it still doesn't look super nice, to be honest with you. I don't really like the result. I mean, when I look closely, it doesn't really sit well anywhere on the skin. It doesn't sit well on my more greasy T-zone. It doesn't sit well on my a bit drier cheeks. I mean, even there, I remember yesterday saying how it looked greasy, even on the parts of my face that are supposed to be a bit more dry. So really, this does not work for me no matter how I use it. I feel like even if you have dry skin, this is not going to look good because the thing is, it doesn't really dry either. So it's always a bit tacky as well. So you're gonna have to set it with powder and then it's just gonna look cakey, you know? So really this for me is a no. Still from the Photo Focus line, I'm guessing there's something in that line that just doesn't agree with me. The concealer. Here's the thing. As much as I hate it for the under eyes, I think I'm going to keep this and use it as a spot corrector because it is dry. It's very, very dry. You have to dip back and forth in order to get some product on the brush. And it's just so very dry. It's not even really that covering either. I just don't really get it. Like as you blend it under your eyes and you work with it, it just kind of disappears. I don't know how to explain it. But when you apply it on a little spot you want to conceal, and because you just don't work it too much, you know, you just tap it like this and don't blend it too much into the rest of the skin, then it works fine. So this is not in the last position simply because I know I can find a way to use this. Coming in at number 6, I have this contouring palette in the shade Dulce de Leche. This is not bad. The bronzing side is actually quite nice. Here's why it's not more up there in the ranking. First of all, this shade here on me is too dark. It looks like it's gonna be just slightly yellow just to illuminate the skin. It's dark, okay? It just darkens everything. I tried using it on the under eyes. It was awful. I tried using it on the rest of the face. Doesn't work either. So this part really of the palette, I'm not gonna use. I don't see myself using it anytime soon. Which is a shame because the powders, both powders, are very buttery and soft, and it seems like it's not dry. It's not like rough powder. You know what I mean? But this tone is just not gonna work for me. Now this side, Like I said, the texture of the powder is amazing. It does blend nicely, honestly. This is the bronzer I have on today. It's pretty, both in terms of color, finish, and blendability. It's all good. So this is not a bad product. It's just, like I said, I'm only going to use one side. And the term contouring palette, I'm a bit puzzled by it because when I look at this shade, to me, it's too warm to be an actual contour powder. So all in all, like I said, not a bad product, especially considering the price, but I think if what you're looking for is just a nice bronzer, you can look elsewhere. Number 5 on the ranking list, I have the Retractable Brow Pencil. This is the shade Medium Brown. Here's the thing, this is what I have in my brows today, and I love my brows today. I think they look so nice. I kind of filled it in a bit more in here. Anyway, the shade of this, perfection. I always struggle finding the right shade for me when it comes to my brows. This is just so good. The issue I have is, first of all, the size of the tip. You know, it's just a little too big. I prefer a more precise pencil. And the texture is a little bit weird. I don't know if you can tell, but there's some parts where it kind of bundles up and catches on a brow hair, if that makes sense. And as you work it in the brow and it kind of gets warmer with your skin, the texture changes a little bit. So I feel like I'm always gonna have, like, the second brow that I do will be a bit deeper. You know what I mean? It's a little weird. I don't hate the formula. It's something I can work with, and honestly, I will work with because it was easy for me to do my brows, and like I said, the color match just really is amazing. But yeah, it's just, if you're looking for a good eyebrow pencil, I wouldn't necessarily think of this one. Number 4 is the Liquid Catsuit. This is the matte liquid lipsticks. Now, these are really good. Honestly, it's a good liquid lipstick from the drugstore. It's not too expensive, of course, because it's Wet n Wild and we know it's affordable. You have a ton of shades and it's a nice liquid lipstick. The reason why it's not ranking any higher is because it's a liquid lipstick. So as nice as it's gonna be, it's also not gonna be the most comfortable. And also, depending on the shade that you pick, some of them don't have the same opacity. They're still easy to work with. They look nice on the lips, like they fade nicely as well. They're not the worst liquid lipstick. They're also not the best. So they're as good as a liquid lipstick can be, I guess, especially again for the price. We are entering the top 3, and so at number 3 we have the megaglo highlighting powder. This is the shade Precious Petals. Now this, yesterday when I tried it, not for the first time, but for the first time in a long time, I swatched it and I put it on my hand and I was like, it's gonna be too subtle. I prefer like a bam out there highlight. And actually it looked super nice. What I like about it is that because it is a bit soft, it just really melts with the other products you have on your face. And at the same time, when you look at it, it's actually not that subtle. Like, it definitely gives you a glow. It's not going to be a metallic highlight, but I mean, I know that's what is trendy right now, is more natural highlighters like this one. And honestly, I really like the effect on the skin. I like the fact that it's glowy, it's shiny, but it's still soft and natural as a highlight can be. And again, I mean, the price on that is just right. At the second position, I have the liquid catsuit, but these are the high shine liquid lipsticks. Now, funny story, I wasn't supposed to buy these. I didn't know I was buying these. When I went to the US, I knew that a lot of people recommended the liquid catsuit, but the matte version. And so I looked for it. I saw this and I was like, okay, liquid catsuit. That's it. I picked 5 different shades, and then I realized it was not the same formula. So I ended up with this many high shine lipsticks on accident, but I'm really happy about it. Now here's the thing. Like I said, the liquid catsuit, the matte version, really a good liquid lipstick, affordable, nice shades, nice formulas. The reason why this, in my opinion, is better is because it's different. It's not a formula I've encountered a whole lot, to be honest with you, because this is not a gloss, but this is not just a shiny lipstick. It's really somewhere in the middle. It is highly pigmented. Here, this is the shade Send Nudes, which I have a bit on my lips today, which really is my favorite shade. You can see it is quite pigmented. It's a little glossy. It's not going to be the most juicy and glossy lip gloss, but that's because it's not a lip gloss. And because of it, it actually is going to stay on your lips a bit longer. And as the shine will fade away eventually, the pigment does stay in place. I mean, you can see how opaque this is, right? It's still shiny. It's just a nice formula that, again, I don't think I've really seen elsewhere. And the number one spot, and that breaks my heart, goes to another foundation. This is the Mega Cushion foundation. I love this foundation. The effect it gives on the skin is just so freaking pretty. It's natural. It's not matte, but it's not glowy or dewy. It just has a nice satin finish. It doesn't really look like you're wearing much makeup, much foundation at all. It's not the most covering, but it's going to cover what you want covered. And I mean, if it doesn't, just add a little bit of corrector here and there. But this is just a nice finish. It's long wearing. It doesn't seem to like move that much. It's amazing. I really love that foundation. Now, the fact that it's a cushion foundation, I mean, the good thing is that it's easier to travel with. It's not a glass bottle of foundation that can break at any time. It does dry out a bit fast, so once you open it, you kind of have to use it. You can't just put it back in your drawer and forget it for 2 months, otherwise it's going to be dry. But the formula on this is amazing. Now, the reason why it's heartbreaking is because I believe they don't make this anymore. I cannot find it on the Belgian drugstore website where they sell some of the products here from Wet n Wild. I haven't really dug deep into it, but I'm fairly certain this doesn't exist anymore. Now I have this one, you know, so I can still use this one. The issue is that it's too light. This is the shade Light Ivory. It's just too light, and it's winter here. I'm not tan, you know, so for it to be too light in February, I'm like, it's never gonna be the right shade. I think I'm gonna keep it a little bit. I'm gonna try and use it a bit before I get even more tan, and try to warm it up with a ton of bronzer. I don't know, but yeah, it really is a shame because it's too light for me. It accentuates some of the spots that I have. It actually doesn't look so nice everywhere. I also did notice though that it does go into the fine lines a little bit, but yeah, I really like this. If you can get your hands on this in your correct shade, you really should, because it really is nice. And that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. You can also subscribe to my channel because it's free, so why wouldn't you? And I will see you guys next time. Bye.